So hi everyone, remember the task that I have given to you earlier for relative clause. Okay, I couldn't make it to write down the answers, but I'm giving you the answers in a video format, so you can check against your answers. All right. So a thief is a person who steals things. A butcher is a person who sells meat. A musician is a person who plays a musical instrument. A patient is a person who patient is ill in hospital. Next, a photographer is a person who takes photographs. A dentist is a person who looks after your teeth. A fool is a person who is very stupid. A genius is a person who is very intelligent. A liar is a person who doesn't tell the truth. Okay, so this is for first part. Second part, a man phoned, he didn't say his name. Okay, so you combine these two sentences. This is to train you to write longer sentences, compound sentences. Okay, the man who opened phone didn't say his name. A woman opened the door, she was wearing a yellow dress. The woman who opened the door was wearing a yellow dress. Okay, so you use the word who, that's name. Some people live next door to us, they are very nice. So the people who live next door to us are very nice. You combine, A policeman stopped our car, he wasn't very friendly. The policeman who stopped our car was not very friendly. E. A boy broke the window, he ran away. The boy who broke the window ran away. Okay, section 3. Write who, that, which in the blanks. I met a woman who can speak 6 languages. Okay, for a human being, a person, you use who. What's the name of the man who lives next door? What's the name of the river that goes through the town? You can use that or which. Both can. Everybody who went to the party enjoyed it very much. Do you know anybody who wants to buy a car? Where is the picture that was on the wall? Which was on the wall? Both can. She always asks me questions that are difficult to answer. Which are difficult to answer? Both can. I have a friend who. A coffee maker is a machine that or which. I don't like people who. Have you seen the money? Which? That was on the table. Why does he always wear clothes? That or which? Okay, join the sentences to write a single sentence. And took some photographs. Have you seen them? So when you combine, have you seen the photographs and took? You lost a key. Did you find it? Did you find the key that you lost? Okay. Jill is wearing a jacket. I like it. I like the jacket Jill is wearing. I gave you some money. Where is it? Where is the money that I gave you? Okay. She told us a story. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe the story she told me. You bought some oranges. How much were they? How much were the oranges that you bought? Okay. Complete the sentences with the information in brackets. We met some people. The people we met were very nice. Okay. I'm wearing shoes. The shoes that I'm wearing are not very comfortable. C. What's the name of the book you are reading? She didn't get the letter that I wrote to her. E. I've lost the umbrella that you gave me. F. The people that were invited didn't come. Okay. 6. Complete the sentences with the information in the box. What's the name of the hotel you stayed at? What's the name of the woman you spoke to? The house they live in is too small for them. Did you enjoy the party you went to? The chair I was sitting on wasn't very comfortable. The map, on the map, the map that we looked at wasn't very clear. Did you find the book that you were looking for? H. Who is the man Linda is dancing with? Okay. 7. What's the name of the hotel where we stayed? What's the name of the restaurant where we had dinner? Have you ever been to the village they live in? The factory John works in is the biggest in town. Okay. Join the sentences using who or which. We chose the hotel. It seemed to be the nicest. We chose the hotel which seemed to be the nicest. Okay, you use the relative clause which. She spoke to the man who was standing next to her. Okay, you change he, you change to who. I read the letters which came in the morning post. He likes the other people who work in his office. She's that singer who was on television last night. Next week, there is a festival which happens in the village every summer. I paid the bills which came yesterday. Number 9. Did you watch that program last night? Which one? The program which I mentioned a couple of days ago. It's a new series which started last night. Series ni not human, so which? No, I didn't see it. Was it good? Yes, it was about a group of friends who were at school together. Well, Rupert, who was Rupert? He was an old student of the school who had become a doctor. He went to a party which his old teachers organized. He met a lot of people who had been at school with him many years before. They talked about the things which they did when they were at school. Then suddenly Rupert saw an old girlfriend who was dancing with John. Don't tell me anymore, it's getting too complicated. Okay. All right, section 10. Answer with who, which, or that. Okay, example. She chose the books she wanted to buy them. She chose the books that she wanted to buy. We ate the sandwiches that Jack made. I'm doing some work that I have to finish today. You don't mention the word eat, eh? She's an old woman who I often see when I go to the shop. He's an actor who a lot of people like. Tak payah mention him. It's a magazine which I read sometimes. Buang it. She was wearing a red dress which she wears for parties. Buang it. Section 11. Okay, use who or which. The person phoned, he didn't leave a message. The person who phoned didn't leave a message. B. The bus that goes which goes to the airport leaves every 20 minutes. You buang it. The picture which was hanging near the door was horrible. The instructor who taught me how to drive was very patient. The girl who was sitting next to me started talking to me. Buang she. Okay, this one use who or which. I went to see a doctor. She had helped my mother. I went to see the doctor who had helped my mother. A dog bit me. It belonged to Mrs. Jones. The dog which bit me belonged to Mrs. Jones. The woman who wrote to me, wanted my advice. The bus which crashed was 23 years old and talked to a man who had won a lot of money. Mary was staying with a friend who has a big house in Scotland. He's the architect who designed the new city library. 13. Jack made a table. It's not very strong. The table that Jack made is not very strong. I read about a new computer. I read about the new computer that I had seen on TV. Buang it. Jane made a cake. Nobody liked it. Nobody liked the cake that Jane made. The letter that Mary sent me was very funny. The newspaper is going to publish the article that my sister wrote. The old lady that I met was 103 years old. I saw the house that my brother wants to buy. Okay, section 14. It is very interesting to meet somebody who who has visited so many different countries. The person who asked me the person who interviewed me asked me some very difficult question. Who interviewed me? In my office, there are two men who complain all the time. Who? I don't like people who no. I don't like people who complain all the time. Okay, it should be who complain all the time. So, what's the name of the writer? Oh, whose book won a prize last week? So, sini, whose Di mana buku dia? Whose book won a prize last week? We help the woman. We help the woman whose car had broken down. Whose car had broken down. Di mana kereta dia itu telah rosak. Put in who or that only if necessary. Okay, the match we saw was boring. Okay, no need anything. Did I tell you about the people who live next door? The horse that won the race belongs to an Irish woman. I love the ice cream they sell in that shop. Nothing, kosong. The book that I'm reading is about jazz. That. The woman came to see us was selling magazine. Nothing, We'll go to a restaurant that has a children's menu. The factory closed last week. Sorry, the factory that closed last week had been there for 70 years. Have you read about the schoolgirl who started her own business and is now a millionaire? Jane says that the house that Tom has bought has a beautiful garden. Okay. Banyaklah pula Mont Blanc is between France and Italy. It is the highest mountain in the Alps. Mont Blanc, which is between France and Italy, is the highest mountain in the Alps. Okay, so now you're training yourself to use which. This is a clause. Alfred Hitchcock, who was born in Britain, worked for so many years in Hollywood. The sun, which is really a star, is 93 million miles from the Earth. John F. Kennedy, who died in 1963, was a very famous American president. Charlie Chaplin, who was from a poor family, became a very rich man. The 1992 Olympics were held in Barcelona. Okay, the 1992 Olympics, which were held in Barcelona, is the northeast of Spain. Sorry, salah. Olympics were held in Barcelona, which is the northeast of Spain. We went to see the crown jewels, which are kept in the Tower of London. Okay, continue. Use who or which. Greta Garbo, who was born in Sweden, moved to America in 1925. Okay. Football, which started in Britain, is now popular in many countries. Margaret Thatcher, who was the Prime Minister of Britain for 11 years, studied science at university. Michelangelo, who lived until he was 90, is one of Italy's greatest artists. The Nile, which runs through several countries, is the longest river in Africa. Gandhi, who was born in 1869, became India's nationalist leader. Elephants, which are found in Africa and India, live to a great age. Okay, next is who or whose. Martina Navratilova, who was born in Prague, became a US citizen in 1981. Darwin, whose ideas changed our view of the world, traveled to a lot of countries when he was young. Oh, this is very good to train you to make compound and complex sentences. Very good. Madonna, whose parents were born in Italy, is a famous American singer. Bill Clinton, whose wife is a brilliant lawyer, became president of the USA in 1993. Sebastian Coe, who was a successful English runner, is now a politician. Catherine of Russia, who ruled for over 30 years, made many important changes. Underline the words that which refers to. Okay, which one? They climbed Snowdon, which is the highest mountain. So, Snowdon, They climbed Snowdon, which made them very tired. Climb. So, sini climb. Maria sang and played the guitar, which everyone enjoyed a lot. So, which here refers to? Played the guitar. Played the guitar. The boat stopped at apa ni perkataan ni kena refer betul at Sousse, which is in Tunisia, which here refers to Sousse. The coach stopped at a petrol station, which allowed. Okay, so here stop lah, which ni allow refers to stopped. We listen to the news, which was in French, which here refers to the news. Next. Okay, add the missing relative but make a contact clause where possible. I know a man who eats paper. The man who you want has just left. It's a kind of paper which you can eat. The lady who was here yesterday has gone out. He eats only the paper which his wife makes. The magazine which you lent me was very old. His wife is a woman who loves a joke. The chair which was broken is now mended. He's one of the people whom I really like. The old man who lives next door has just died. You can write on the paper which she makes. Women who work in hospitals are admired. Has this paper got a flavor that pleases you? The cigarette which you are smoking is a player's. Have you met anyone else who does such tricks? The girl who lives next door is very pretty. I'm looking for someone whom I can trust. The fish that I ate yesterday was not so good. I want to find a man who will lend me money. Who? The street that leads to the school is very wide. Correct the errors in these sentences. Joanne won the prize. That surprised me a lot. Errors ni tak ada koma lah. The children that you change to who were playing football broke one of my windows. The house in that I was born has just been. The house which I was born has just been demolished. Frank is the man who lives next door. Buang he. The books which are on the table are mine. Buang they. I can't remember the name of the person who I borrowed this pen. Buang from. This is the box in which I had put my English book. This is the box I had put. Okay, so the man with whom she had lunch yesterday is her boss. The man whom she had lunch yesterday is her boss. Buang with. Sini pun sama. The wife which you are cutting. Tak payah ada with. Ini pun the company which he works has gone bankrupt. Buang for. We didn't recognize the people whom we were looking. Buang at. I can't remember the person whom I took the money. Buang from. This food has an ingredient that is very sweet. The lady who, the house which, Antonio Banderas who, D.H. Lawrence who, London that, the Prado Museum that. Last night we met my Last night we met a millionaire. Okay. Yesterday we found an empty wallet. We like wholemeal cereals. Michelangelo, who painted the Sistine Chapel, was a famous artist. She has bought a broken CD. I had spent the money I won on a new bike. Madonna, who was born in the USA, is a popular. My grandpa, who live in Cordoba, are school teachers. Victoria Station, that is situated near Buckingham Palace, is one of the most famous railway stations in London. Guernica, which was painted by Picasso, is permanently exhibited in Madrid. My friend Louise, who has lived in many exotic countries, works for the government. Sharon, who is a wonderful cook, is married with 2 children. Okay. All right, finally.